Do you ever feel like your own mind is your biggest obstacle? Well, today we're building the complete toolkit to change all that. We're going to start by taming that inner voice that derails you, yep, your ego, using some really practical wisdom. And then we're going to arm you with a neuroscientist guide to achieving unbreakable focus.
I mean, it so often feels like we're fighting a war on two fronts, doesn't it? The world outside is just bombarding us with notifications and demands, pulling our attention in a million different directions. But at the exact same time, there's a battle raging inside our own heads, where we're wrestling with our own doubts and insecurities. So on one side, you've got the external battle, constant pings, deadlines, just this fire hose of information. But on the other side, there's the internal battle, that need for validation, that nagging inner critic, and, the biggest culprit of them all, the ego. And look, the external pressures are totally real, but it's that internal fight that so often sabotages our focus before we even get started.
So let's start from the inside out, right? Before we can even dream of managing all those external distractions, we have to get a handle on the internal force that's constantly hijacking our attention. It's time to really explore what our ego actually is.
Okay, forget all those complex Freudian theories for a minute. According to some great insights from a Reddit community, the ego is way simpler. It's just that voice inside you that needs to be right, the part that's always seeking approval, and the part that desperately wants to win arguments, even if it costs you your relationships.
This insight from Reddit user time_effort_3115 just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the real price of an unchecked ego. That little short-term victory of proving you're right can lead to the long-term loss of a real connection. It's a super powerful reminder of what's really at stake when we let our ego take the wheel.
So what's the solution then? Well, another user suggested that it's not about crushing your ego into submission. Not at all. Instead, it's about self-awareness and self-respect. Treating that part of yourself with a little understanding, not like it's some enemy that needs to be defeated.
And the community shared some fantastic practical strategies. It really all starts with just being aware of your automatic reactions. From there, the advice is basically this: shift your goal from winning to understanding. Celebrate when other people win, and practice being of service. Basically, it's all about turning the spotlight away from yourself.
Okay, so with a better handle on our internal world, now we can turn to that external battle. Because once we quiet that internal noise a bit, we can start building the systems we need for deep work. And this is where neuroscientist Andrew Huberman comes in with a science-backed guide to focus, adding a really powerful set of tools to our mental arsenal.
Huberman explains focus with this great metaphor. Think of it like an arrow. Now, for that arrow to fly straight and true, it needs three key neurochemicals. First, you've got the shaft, which is epinephrine, adrenaline, giving you the raw energy and alertness. Second, the arrowhead is acetylcholine, and that's what physically sharpens and directs your attention. And third, you need an engine, and that's dopamine, providing the motivation to keep that arrow flying right toward its target.
So the big question is, how can we intentionally activate this whole neurochemical system to improve our focus whenever we want? Well, the great news is we have a toolkit of simple, totally zero-cost methods, all backed by science, that can help us do exactly that.
And here it is, your focus toolkit. For structuring your day, you can use ultradian cycles. That's working in intense 90-minute blocks that actually align with your brain's natural rhythm. For recovery, use deliberate defocus to let your mind just wander and recharge. Need a sharp jolt of alertness? A little bit of cold exposure will spike your epinephrine. To get in the zone, 40 Hz binaural beats have been shown to increase key neurochemicals like acetylcholine. And to build that focus muscle for the long haul, refocus meditation strengthens the neural circuits for attention every time you do it. Let's look a little closer at those ultradian cycles. Our brains are literally hardwired to work in these intense 90-minute bursts. The key is to work with this natural rhythm, not fight against it. So go hard for about 90 minutes, and then give your brain a real break with 20 to 30 minutes of deliberate defocus, just letting your mind wander before you dive back in.
And listen, you don't need hours a day to train your focus. That number, 13, it comes from a study by Dr. Wendy Suzuki's lab. It showed that people saw significant improvements in their concentration from just a 13-minute daily meditation. And here's the secret. The benefit doesn't come from maintaining perfect focus, it comes from the simple act of refocusing your attention over and over again. That's the workout.
So we've got strategies for managing our ego on one side, and we've got a scientific toolkit for focus on the other. Now, let's bring it all together.
Let's see how these two worlds, the internal and the external, actually combine to create true mental mastery. This right here is the core idea. You can have all the best focus tools in the world, but they're pretty much useless if your ego is constantly hijacking your attention, with the need to be right or worrying about what other people think. Managing your internal state is the foundation. It's the skill that unlocks your ability to effectively use all these other cool tools.
Look, this isn't just theory. It's a practical skill you can start building literally right now. So what are you going to choose? Are you going to be a little more aware of your ego's reactions in a conversation later? Are you going to try a 13-minute refocus meditation? Or maybe structure your afternoon around one 90-minute focus block? The choice is yours.